In Grays County, Washington, authorities noted eerie similarities between a 2003 rape and the murder of 10-year-old Lindsey Baum 6 years later. There is a possibility that an arrest in a cold case kidnapping and rape case from 2003 could shed some light on the murder of a 10-year-old girl who mysteriously disappeared from the same small Washington town just 6 years later. Paul Beaker was arrested on Tuesday for the 2003 rape and kidnapping of a 17-year-old girl from McCleary, Washington after genetic genealogy led detectives to him nearly 2 decades after the crime. Investigators are now investigating whether Beaker is also connected to the murder of Lindsey Baum, 10, who disappeared from the same city on June 26, 2009. Her remains were discovered in 2018 in Kittitas County in eastern Washington. According to Grays County Under-Sheriff, there are some eerie similarities between the two cases. How many kidnappers do you have in the same small town? However, they may not be related at all. The sheriff's office reports that the 17-year-old girl was abducted in March 2003 while returning home in her vehicle. Authorities said the suspect assaulted the victim, bound her up, and threw her into her own vehicle before taking her to a second location and sexually assaulting her. The suspect then fled from the scene, leaving the victim alone in the vehicle. Ultimately, she was able to free herself and return home, where her father immediately dialed 911. A sexual assault examination was conducted on the teen victim, who has not been identified, at a local hospital, and a DNA profile was obtained. Despite the profile being entered into a national criminal database, no matches were found, and the case went unsolved for many years. Then, in December of 2020, Grays Harbor Sheriff's Office Chief Darren Wallace submitted the DNA sample to a laboratory for genetic genealogy testing. According to authorities, the test was used to develop a short list of possible suspects who may have committed the crime. After investigators learned that Beaker had resided in McCleary, not far from the teenage victim, they identified him as a potential suspect at the time of the crime. They also found circumstantial evidence that linked him to the crime, as well as a DNA sample taken from a discarded item that was positively matched to the sample from the sexual assault exam. We would never stop trying to solve this case, and as it turns out, we have been able to bring closure to her and to at least make an arrest in the investigation. Currently, investigators are seeking to determine whether Beaker was involved in Baum's murder. A 10-year-old boy disappeared in 2009 while walking home from a friend's house. In a statement to the news outlet, Johansson said, "We just need to investigate further to determine whether this is the same person we are searching for in the Lindsey Baum case or if it's entirely unrelated. It's our goal not to rest until that one is solved as well." Currently, Beaker is incarcerated in the Grays Harbor County Jail.